Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to replace the oxygen sensors on this Mini Cooper S from 2011, and more importantly I'm going to show you how to test them before replacing, because most of the time the sensors are okay. One is placed before the catalytic converter. It measures the gases right after the combustion. And if you go under the car, the second oxygen sensor is going to be after the catalytic converter. This bulky round thing is the catalytic converter, and you've got the sensor which will read the gases after they've been purified by the catalytic converter. And this one is called sensor 1 from bank 1. If you have a V8 or V6, you're gonna have two banks, and each bank has sensor 1 and sensor 2. So on this car, you can start by removing this little cover and press on this tab. Alright, so now take your oxygen sensor socket, and you've got a very limited space in here, so you cannot put your ratchet in here unless you remove this piece of metal, this piece of frame. What I'm gonna attempt is to use a 25mm wrench. I don't have a 25, I'm just gonna use this adjustable one. You gotta turn it in that direction. There it. Should not be so much carbon, but anyway. So now the problem is that this oxygen sensor is a wideband oxygen sensor, therefore you cannot diagnose it with a voltmeter. A voltmeter is going to be quite useless in this situation. I've got here a scan tool, which is basically an app on the phone. It's quite good for the money I paid. I paid $100 for it, so it's doing a lot of things for $100. With that being said, now I'm going to go ahead and basically reconnect the oxygen sensor. I'm going to place it on this support like that. One more thing to mention is that the wideband oxygen sensor needs higher temperature to get to the operating temperature. Alright, so pretty strangely I've got no response from the sensor. I'm going to actually start the car because I have no choice, and I will see what's the reaction in that moment. The equivalence ratio is basically how much deviation it is from the short-term fuel trim and long-term fuel trim. Here you should be close to 1. So yeah, this oxygen sensor works. I will attempt to remove the connector from the oxygen sensor number 2. Unfortunately, I have to remove this intake hose in order to make space for me to get to that connector. I use this type of tool and I pull from that red lever, and the oxygen sensor connector just releases itself. Now it's disconnected. It's a narrowband oxygen sensor because it's less important for the performance of the engine. This is mostly used for the catalytic converter. Let's see, here it comes. Now you can actually see how the connector goes. You got this little indentation in the corner which goes only in one way, and you place it like that, and then you press on this red tab. Once it clicks in position, the connector is secured. So with a voltmeter I just probed the brown and the black wire, and now I'm gonna turn the key in the second position. First I will place the key in the second position. This is the first position and this is the second position. Now the voltmeter is connected in the same spot, so I'm gonna go ahead and warm up the sensor, and we can keep an eye on these last values, and we can keep an eye, and meanwhile we can keep an eye as well on this last value, which should change pretty soon. And you can see the voltage is increasing. because right now there is not much oxygen in that area. Now when I take out the flame, you should see a drop at around 0 volts, and when I put the flame again, it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So as you can see, this car has actually a quite interesting combination of sensors, because not many cars will have a narrow band and a wide band oxygen sensor. It's a perfect example for you to understand the difference between these. Alright guys, so that was pretty much it about the oxygen sensor. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos about this Mini Cooper S, there is gonna be a link in the description below with the playlist I made. And until next time, drive safe, so I can see you soon.